Yeah, that's a
Dollar
very interesting officer
saving,
from Shell.
you know,
Yes.
working up towards things,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like working with
Yeah,
her.
she's going to Sevastopol doing an international trip. Summer of '27.
Oh, really?
So we're making her help pay for it.
Nice.
So,
Where do you go?
Okay, mic's on.
Check.
I'd like to call to order the Board of Supervisors meeting for Monday, May 18th, 2026, at 7 PM. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. All right, let's try and establish a quorum.
Supervisor Danielle?
Here.
Supervisor Waite?
Here.
Chairman Wolfle?
Here.
Supervisor Vogel?
Here.
Supervisor Hain is excused.
All right, we have a quorum. Let's meet our guests, although some of them we're going to get to meet twice. We'll start over here with you, ma'am.
Connie Judd, up here, 4878 State Highway 57.
All right.
John Jarsh with Destination Door County.
Juliana Beam with the Door County Tourism Zone.
Cool.
Hugh Zettel, District 14, County Board Supervisor, 3986 Glidden Drive.
Jessica Hatch, Broadband Coordinator for Door County, Bailey's Harbor.
John Vick, 52667 Forest Road.
Gwen Grayboys, 5343 South Lake Road.
Great, thanks, and welcome to all of you. Does anyone wish to speak on anything other than what's on our agenda?
Is this the public?
This would be the public participate. We could limit it. No,
Would
go
you
ahead.
hand her the microphone?
Hand her the mic,
There
though,
we go.
please.
Okay, so I gotta talk into that.
You can
Yes.
grab it out of there if you like.
Because otherwise, my wife, who's at home listening, will not be able to hear you.
Make sure you keep
And I will hear
right up
about
in
it
your mouth.
later.
Yeah.
All right, greetings, everyone. My name is Connie Judd, and like I said, I live up the road, but I also own property in Egg Harbor and Gibraltar. And I just want to, I'm wearing my shirt tonight. It's Protect and Preserve, for all of you to see. And it does have the Alpine on there, only because of what's happening with Egg Harbor and basically the whole entire county. Being a generational family, I'm here tonight to tell you that the Alpine really struck a chord with me because I reached out multiple times to make sure that it was going to be safeguarded from being ripped down and built up to be private homes. I was reassured if that was going to be the case. I was reassured from it. So I just stopped purchasing getting people to purchase the property to save it for historic reasons. Anyways, all that drama I'm not going to get into, but I just want you to know that I am a person that believes that our county needs to stand back on changing it so much that we lose our history. And if you are any person from this county that has been here multiple years, you'll know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to get into it any further than that. So please do, I encourage you to try your best to protect and preserve what we have left in this community and the Door County as a whole. Also, I did a Zoom, I don't know any of you are into space, but I did a Zoom session with Jim Kelly, Tom Henschett, Bill Peters, which are the Apollo mission flight controllers. And that is on YouTube. If you go to Flight Controllers of Apollo Missions Reflecting Back in 2026, you'll find a 3-hour Zoom there, a YouTube Zoom. I just did another Zoom with these 3 people. Actually 2, Tom was not present. On May 12th, during school time at 8 a.m., we had 5 teachers and 80 students, 6th graders basically, that participated in a 2-hour Zoom. We are planning on, Bill, Tom, and Jim and I are planning on continuing that. I did go to 12 schools in this area, all the way up to Washington Island and over to Peshigo. So I just want to give you a heads up that I think we are moving forward definitely with the schools, and I would like to offer that opportunity also. If the town people would like to be in a Zoom session, we would schedule something. And that's pretty much all I had to say. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak? Hearing none, we will move on. All right. So I'm going to guess that our agenda was properly noticed.
It has been properly noticed.
How about a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Anybody? Motion by Linda, second by
Second.
Jeannie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, good, we at least can move ahead. All right, first thing this evening, we have a presentation from Jessica Hatch on the Broadband Committee Phase 2. Jesse, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Amy, Jeannie said you could help me out and
Right
that
up
you
there.
have.
There you go.
Absolutely, great, thank you. I think I'll just stand and read because that'll be a little bit easier. So I have been doing some visits with all of our municipalities because we're all in different pieces and transitions with our broadband journey right now, and you are going to be wrapping up your construction with AT&T sometime late summer and into fall here. So I'm kind of just doing conversations with everyone on my committee transition and then having discussions with your town committee. There we go. That sounds better. So my broadband committee at the county level last year transitioned from focusing on broadband access over to talking about broadband adoption and digital skill building. It was a natural transition. This is discussions that we should be having at a municipal level as well and county-wide, because once the infrastructure is built, we want to see good take rates with our providers because we have a public investment here and we want to make sure that we support that. Digital skill building discussions are really important to have with our community because we want people to be unafraid of using the infrastructure if they are having a lack of skills. So I have a little piece here that shows you all of these conversations that we have with my county committee, school districts, businesses, healthcare, and I like to discuss with everyone that the digital divide does have deployment and non-deployment components to it, and the non-deployment component is the broadband adoption and digital skill building that we're talking about. These two components build last mile human capacity by teaching residents how to use devices, applications, and online services for work, learning, health, and civic life. It focuses on safe and informed use, privacy, security, avoiding scams, and evaluating information so broadband and devices become tools for opportunity rather than sources of risk. Thanks, Amy. So, one of the conversations I love having about this is we've done this before. This is not new. It's history repeating itself. We did this during the Rural Electrification Act. And so I dug into this specifically to kind of get an idea of what they did historically when electricity came through. So when the REA of 1936 transformed rural America by extending electricity to communities that private utilities had deemed unprofitable, adoption was not automatic. Federal investment in infrastructure was paired with what were called electrification specialists at that time that educated farmers on practical applications like electric pumps and refrigeration. So this combination of access and education drove rapid adoption and improved productivity and elevated rural living standards, which is going to be the same with us having fiber services here throughout the area and in rural areas. So the key benefits of adoption are obviously community development and economic growth. They provide opportunity for lifelong learning and entertainment, keeping our community engaged. We have greater civic engagement as residents more easily access information and participate in local government. We have improved education outcomes for our students of all ages with access to digital learning. More effective healthcare access via telehealth, reducing travel and improving care, which is huge with us living here when we talk about some of the distances that some of us travel for healthcare, not just right around the corner to DCM all the time, but sometimes Green Bay on a regular basis, or even Madison or Minnesota, depending on what your needs are. We have some modernized agriculture and industry and boosting productivity and competitiveness. But digital skills really enable us to reach our shared aspirations as a community. And the enhanced communication, I would say how people can do people stuff better, seeing each other, and increased social connectedness really is a huge factor, helping combat social isolation by enabling easy access to video calls and online communities, telehealth services, and fostering meaningful social interaction and support. And we have a stronger local economy, business growth, entrepreneurship, and job creation. So, and then one last thing is enhanced public safety with better emergency communication and response systems. So one of my partners in these discussions is the United Way of Door County. Currently, we have a grant that was awarded to United Way of Wisconsin, and Door County is a local partner in this, where we have laptops that we are issuing to community members that are in need. We do have some eligibility requirements that people have to meet, but that is just something I do on a phone call with them. It usually takes about 10 minutes. And there's a variety of different ways that you can qualify, and some of those ways are being an unserved or underserved area. So if people, there's affordability issues that this ties into, so even though we are putting infrastructure in place, there's still going to be some affordability gaps for everyone. So these allow people to connect when they're on public Wi-Fi or wherever they are. They are fully loaded with Microsoft Office on them, so they can do offline work and then go get connected and upload everything, download everything that they need to, and then if they need to go home, they can continue working. So I have that on there just so you can make community members aware. I have some flyers too that I can drop off, and I'm always looking for conversations with anyone that would qualify, and we're looking to host some local events as well. So the fibernetdoorcounty.org, I just like reminding everyone that that website really is a resource. I have a lot of information on that website. I have a whole page on here on digital skill building and broadband adoption. It also has some additional resources, national resources, and even statewide resources for people. We do have some local partnerships in place too with, We Are Hope on some digital skill building with those laptops. And just different information that we work through the ADRC, Literacy, Door County, and a variety of non-for-profits in the area. I know that you're having conversations with AT&T. They're here on Saturdays through May, they let me know, here at the town hall and the candle company, so that's great. I don't know what your turnout has been with residents coming in to talk to them.
They're not inside, they're outside.
They're outside?
Tent, yeah.
Oh, they have a tent, okay.
Yeah.
Has there been some interest in people showing up, or?
I have not
Oh, okay.
had a
I
conversation.
can follow up and check.
There
with them.
was one here last weekend, this past Saturday.
Okay, great.
When I went by, there wasn't anyone around,
The
but.
sign
okay.
blew down that they had out there.
Okay.
So it was just like a bunch of people sitting in the parking lot.
Waiting for people to come. I have found that it is a tricky piece in these conversations. It is the piece that really takes a lot more time, a lot more patience in conversations versus the access side, and people be willing to come and ask for help. Yeah, Linda?
Jessica, I attended the one on May 6th here at the town hall. It was very informative. I
Okay.
really appreciate, I mean, it was
Yeah,
one-on-one.
that was an
One-on-one. I got
yeah.
to sit down with one of the.
That was one of our educational sessions, which what they're doing out here is more like a
something different?
promo to try to get people to sign
Oh,
up.
okay.
But the educational sessions, and I'll be talking, well, I could talk to it now, we're going to have another one of those
Okay.
on Wednesday, June 3rd at 5 o'clock.
Oh, great. Great.
And I'm hoping that we have a better turnout than we did for the first one, because I'll remind people, you get refreshments and food, because it's 5 PM, so I encouraged food, so maybe more people would show. So, yes, and it was he did a brief PowerPoint Harrison Gorski did a brief PowerPoint, and then he kind of just opened it up to questions. And it was I thought it was, for the few people that were here, they were well-informed, and Linda was one of them that obtained more information. And I just, again, I encourage people, please come, because for all the
Yeah. reasons
you mentioned, you will learn about telehealth, you will learn about how to use your devices if you ask
Yes.
questions, applications, it's a whole new world for a
It
lot
is.
of people that have not been served, and so this is how you're going to learn how to use it. Come and take advantage of a free session and food besides, so, come, and thank you, Jess, for coming tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any questions for me at all, or just any follow-up, Linda?
With regard to the United Way and issuing laptops to community members, great. But are there going to be some types of control on those laptops, or kid-proof? I mean,
The recipients do have to be 18 and over to receive a laptop.
okay.
But the funding is from Treasury, U.S. Treasury. So what is in place is what was passed down from Treasury for rules or anything like that. So really, it's just a matter of eligibility. And then we have some partners that are working with people to learn how to use those laptops and use the Microsoft skills. And then there's a separate funding source that Microsoft provided with some like skilling and videos to learn how to use things too.
And like you said, they can just jump onto any free Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi at home or whatever.
Yeah, they can,
It's theirs to use for personal use.
that's exactly what it's for.
Hopefully educational and students.
That's what they said in California. At the prisons, they're using them very well.
Oh, to get their law degrees?
Yes. Are you working with AT&T, or is that a separate effort where they just donated 40 or 50 to the school?
That is separate, but they worked through Door County Economic Development Center with
Oh,
that.
that
So
was-
I did end up working with Michelle because the two programs have, AT&T doesn't have qualifiers, and the program under Treasury does have qualifiers that I have to go through to make sure people meet those needs. So there are people I can't qualify, so then I pass that information on to Michelle, and she was able to get some laptops to those people through the AT&T donations. So I think she's going to continue to work with AT&T because they do have that side of their work for digital skilling and device distribution. And I think regionally, in different regions throughout the state, they do try to issue a certain amount. They also went through New North. So New North and Economic Development kind of work together on that.
I think the education piece is really underestimated. I mean, I get questions from people all the time. I hear things all the time about, what channels do I get? And I mean, the list of things that, we've all heard. And so trying to get them educated to understand what it brings to the party is really key. I was just thinking as I listened to you that maybe, maybe between now and whatever, we could redo our billboard. And we get, I forget how many seconds.
You're
but
talking about the
big
one.
Right,
Yeah.
where we could put up 4 or 5 rotating messages rather than one, just
Did we
repeating.
just do one last time, Amy? On the
Yeah,
big
we
screen?
just did one. We have one going right now for
For the
Right.
June?
the June one.
Yeah.
And maybe we could just try tweaking it with something like, learn how to stream, whatever. Pick a few bullets and just pepper that same, so it's not always the same
Security,
message, but
yeah.
an alternating one. Maybe we'll take a look at that.
That's a good idea, streaming services, and like the cord cutting part for people
Yep.
is the biggest
Yeah.
cost savings, but it's also the scariest part for them
Yeah.
to do because they're just unfamiliar with how to do it or what they need to do
Right.
to kind of have that changeover.
The-
Yeah.
The only issue that we've had, and I've expressed it to AT&T multiple times, is if somebody comes to your house and wants to sign you up for broadband, that's great. And if they want to sign you up for telephone, just ask to take the phone out of the hand of the rep that's talking to you and see if he has any bars.
Right.
And there
Yeah.
are plenty of places where they have no bars.
Yeah.
And they sign somebody up and then right away,
They're unhappy.
They have no service.
Yeah.
unhappy camper.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then they revert back to everything because they don't know enough
Yeah.
to try and get it.
Between the two.
Right.
Yeah, I do. I remember being in some correspondence with you and Jeannie and AT&T on
Yeah.
that, and I would say that it would behoove them to provide better education in
Right.
separate conversations on that
Yeah.
piece. I know that they want to bundle to save you money and to get another person on their cellular carrying site, but it's not going to be helpful if they're then losing them on cellular and fiber because they don't understand
Yep.
that they're separate.
Separate,
And
yes.
I did have a conversation with someone in Sturgeon Bay that just happened to last week. That was, I had to reach out to Harrison about, and it was a sticky wicket, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can catch those with whatever, you know, maybe our bullet says, don't bundle cell phone and broadband. I don't know, whatever.
No.
We could work through
Well,
that.
that can,
But that was the selling point
Yeah, well,
at the,
it's a good
Well,
selling
that's-
point if you have service, because it's
you
less
have
money for me too, but I have no
Right.
service.
yeah. Harrison brought along two other people from AT&T.
phone
And
internet, yep.
their
Yeah.
purpose,
We don't
I'm
have
sure,
any
was
issues.
to encourage, you know, bundling.
Well, we'll keep
Pro-
chasing it.
Probably the best thing you can do, Dan, is to focus on the savings relative to what they currently have.
Oh, right.
You know, and I think do the testimonials that way. Speaking at the town board meeting in the town of Sturgeon Bay with some residents that converted, when you think about them having a fixed wireless Door County broadband service that was $80 a month,
Right.
you know, for 20 by 6 on a good day. And then on top of that, they have DirecTV, which is $150, $170, right? And then if you just do the math on that and, you know, being able to save, you know, $120 to $130 a month, just that's the savings you have to talk about, not the savings of bundling wireless and
Right.
and broadband, because that's peanuts compared to what they save on what they either had satellite service or if they had DirecTV. It's just incredible, especially, you know, with the majority of our residents, you know, being fixed income, you know, retirement. I mean, some of them are just giddy relative to the savings that they're getting. So I think that's the testimonials we need, because that's cash in their pockets, you know, right away.
And-
And I think that's what we have to emphasize.
And Hugh, you and I both know that that's what we certainly emphasized when we were doing the presentation on having AT&T as our provider, and how much savings they could realize if they cut the cord and you know, but again, to get the word out, I mean, you had a certain number of people here that night, and to get the word out, I mean, we try our best, we put a lot on the website, I talk about it almost at every meeting, but to just keep, we've reached out to the different homeowners associations and said, you know, here are the dates, you know, come. So it's difficult to know what to do, what more I can do to emphasize, please come, because it will be valuable. I guarantee it will be valuable.
Right. I think we just have to have them also understand that with them adopting cell phones over the number of years, you know, now they forget their home phone numbers and their friends' home phone numbers just because of the convenience of the cell phone. And with the streaming and what's available, you know, eventually it's going to be okay that they don't have to worry about remembering the Charter Spectrum, you know, cable numbers for the channel.
I like those numbers. I've got sticky tape on my remote. We'll take a look and see if we can tweak our billboard a little bit and maybe get a little bit, energize a few people to come. Because once they sign up, then after the fact, they got all the questions and somebody has to go do it one-on-one, so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jess.
Thank you so much. Have a
No
great
problem.
night.
Thank you. Next up, this is presentation evening. We have Destination Door County and our tourism zone. Would you like to talk to us about tourism?
I would love to.
Oh, all
I'll
right.
start and then I'll pass it on over to John.
All right.
Thank you for having us here today. My name is Juliana Beam. I'm the administrator for the Door County Tourism Zone. I've been with the zone for about 5 years, but I am a graduate of Sebastopol School, so.
Oh,
So we are the entity that is responsible for collecting and remitting room tax on behalf of all 19 Door County municipalities. We do share an intergovernmental agreement and the 8% room tax rate for the county. But also, before I get into our discussion about tourism and room tax a little bit more, I just want to remind you that your appointments for your tourism zone reps are coming back up in June this year. We love having Jeannie and Linda on the commission with us. It really is a great opportunity to get the town of Sebastopol's voice heard, and we really appreciate their insight and all the work that they do on behalf of the commission. So thank you both. And just remember to put it on your June agenda so we can get them back on the commission. So tourism. In 2025, the Door County Tourism Zone collected $12.8 million in room tax from approximately 1,600 permit holders and distributed it in accordance with state statute, Wisconsin state statute, and of course our intergovernmental agreement. So 30% is the maximum that is allowable by law to be distributed directly to municipalities without any strings attached. So that can be used for any purpose. The remaining 70% of room tax must be used for tourism promotion and development purposes. We do, of course, engage with Destination Door County as our marketing entity for the use of those funds. And for the town of Sebastopol specifically last year, it was over $9.3 million in lodging sales that were completed through and reported through the Tourism Zone portal. And that translated to about $744,000 in room tax directly, and $223,000 of that was distributed directly to the town of Sebastopol. So it's fantastic. You'll be able to see in the packet that I handed out to you, there's some graphs. I really like looking at how data changes over time, and we've been in a very fortunate position to be able to be tracking a lot of the same things that we're tracking now from the start of the commission in 2007. So 2008 being our first full year, you'll see that it's listed there. We've been tracking the average daily rates over time. The first couple pages are town of Sebastopol specific, and it relates to the different property types. So all of our permit holders, when they apply for a permit, they will classify which type of lodging they are going to be operating, and that assists us in separating out some of those occupancy, average daily rate statistics, so that we can get a better picture by lodging type, how those are operating in the county and by each municipality. So you'll see some comparisons there. For the town of Sebastopol, your average daily rate was $10 above the average for Door County as a whole last year, $270 versus $260. And your overall occupancy rate was 46.6%. And I included in there, after that occupancy rate for Door County page, a separation for seasonality. So the past couple cycles of going and talking to municipalities, we've had some questions about whether or not seasonality, there's an increase in the shoulder seasons. Some municipalities have more of an interest in growing that, others do not. But we thought this year would be a good time to take a look at that and run a review historically. and then see how that has changed over time. So there's a comparison in there for you to peruse. The other thing is that we get a lot of questions every year about the uses for tourism promotion and development funds. So part of that 70%, we often get questions from different entities about whether or not those funds could be used for childcare initiatives or for staff housing or for affordable housing initiatives. And one of the common misconceptions is that it's a little bit looser in its definition for how those funds can be used. So it has to be something that immediately touches tourists. So even if you had staff housing that was, if you had a staff housing project where the staff that work there are in customer service and then they were taking care of tourists, that is one step too far away from the direct use of the funds. But there are a lot of things that can be done with those funds within that, and of course, the 30% in unrestricted funds. And then you are doing really well in your compliance for the town right now. I have to say a big thank you to Amy. She does a really fantastic job of keeping up with all of with any concerns, or if we contact her and let her know that there's somebody who's out of compliance, she is quick as a whip and is really great at contacting us and comparing information. So we really do appreciate that partnership.
Thank you.
And if there's anything that you have any questions about, I know that Linda and Jeannie probably keep you well up to date, but so if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or I'll pass it over to John.
All right.
So let me, one second, let me back up.
Yeah,
On the
question.
community marketing funds, is that what you were referencing, to make sure, we call them 10 different names?
Strategic.
Strategic marketing, community marketing funds,
Associations.
the percentage that we get and in turn currently pass through to Destination Sturgeon Bay.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Just wanted to make sure it was on the same.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure to talk about that. I'll just
Okay.
start off with my name, John Jarsh with Destination Door County. Great to be here. Thank you for giving us time on your agenda this evening. I did provide this folder to you all. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to answer that first question just right off the bat. The funds that we have, that we share and provide to our community business association partners is a program that we've had in place now for a while. And that is a program that we currently have 19% of the funds that we're stewarding, that 70% that we in turn put into a fund that it gets distributed to each of our 11 community business associations based on the amount that their municipalities that they represent put into the pot. So that's how that divide happens. You are currently represented by Destination Sturgeon Bay, as you said. I know, Linda, I know you're on their board. Cam was hoping to be here tonight, but she had a sick child, so she wasn't able to join us tonight. But they currently are representing you, and you provide the funds for the kind of our representative of the town of Sevastopol to that community business association. So I don't know if there were other specific questions about that program
Well,
that you had.
We're going to pursue a second pass at trying to form a community business association. So I was just curious, is there some specific document that floats around that we could reference to make sure we're within the guidelines?
Yes, there is, and that form will actually be going around later this year as we're currently working on the next 3-year agreement between Destination Door County and the community business associations.
Right.
So, yeah, that document will be going around later on this year for each municipality to sign to designate the community business association that they'd like to represent them.
And is there something specific that we need to have? It has to be a 501c3, it has to be what, blah, blah, blah. Are there certain defined things that are requirement that we could get now as we work towards this?
Yes,
this
I'd be
fall?
happy to get that for you. I I could go off the cuff right now, but I don't have to because I can just send you some information about the requirements that we
That's fine.
have. Essentially, it will likely be the last document that you signed a couple of years back, just as to use for a guide, and can answer any other questions in regards to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we could probably even dig it up if it's
Yeah.
not in there.
We have it.
We have it floating around.
Essentially, it would need to be a 501c3 or a 501c6 organization that represents
Right.
your community in some capacity, or however you want to define that. So,
All right, chase after that, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So a few other things that I'll run through here. I think most of you probably are familiar with how room tax is spread in Door County, but if not, or as a refresher, you do have this where does room tax go in Door County spreadsheet, or little kind of diagram, just to give you an idea of where the 30% goes, which obviously is to each of you, our municipalities. And then what happens to the 70% that's designated for tourism promotion and tourism development. Our core operations are clearly the most important part for us. Certainly not the only part, but if it weren't for those core operations that we're utilizing to encourage visitors to travel here, that generate the dollars, the visitor dollars that our visitor economy sees, we wouldn't have the resources to do all the other stuff that we're able to do, including supporting our community business associations or the Community Investment Fund grant program, those sorts of things. So we do take those core operations very seriously, and those are really what have driven us as an organization since 1891 when we were initially founded. That said, we are no longer the Door County Chamber of Commerce, which some of you may recall. Same organization, but our mission has definitely changed. And there's some examples of how our mission has changed in your folder. A couple of them on the left-hand side are 2026 strategic plan, which you can see. That's a 4-page executive summary that outlines kind of the roadmap for us as an organization. And when we do all the different programming and make all the decisions that we make, this is really what we use as our guide. This particular plan is a fairly collaborative effort between our board of directors, our community business association partners, and the Door County Tourism Zone. And so we do feel strongly that this is a pretty good community gauge of what we need to be focusing on at the moment. So this is really kind of what drives us. And again, economic vitality is extremely important. But as our community and workforce, and stewardship and regeneration, those are the 3 pillars in our 2026 plan. And we take all of them very seriously and have some programming that kind of revolved around each one of those pillars. The other thing that I know many of you were a part of, including, I know we had a community event here at the Sebastopol Town Hall as we were putting together the Destination Stewardship Plan, the other document that's on the left side of your folder. This is now about 2 years old when it came out, but we had about 1,500 people in the community provide input for us between online surveys and focus groups and town hall style meetings that we did. And this really is the community's kind of plan, so to speak. It's not just for Destination Door County. While we may have been the drivers behind it and put the resources up to have it created, there are some things in here that kind of what Juliana had talked about that we are not able to fund because of state statute restrictions, housing, some transportation things. So there are some of the things in here that we can be the lead on, and other things that we can help advocate for and work with other organizations in the community that maybe have a little bit better access and opportunity to directly support some of those things, but they're all very important. And so we do use that as a guiding light for us as well as we're putting together our program of work every year. This sheet that it was in the very front, this really was a nice overview. Some of the things that we'll talk about, that I've talked about a little bit. There's a lot that we do that is not included here tonight, but certainly anytime I'd be happy to talk with any of you, whether it's a specific question or more broadly. But this is just kind of an overview, some things I wanted to highlight. In addition to the funds that we provide back to you through that municipal reimbursement program, that's been, I think, a really positive opportunity for us to kind of share resources with you and to help with some of the expenses you have here in the town as it relates to public parks and things that touch visitors as well as your residents. And then, of course, our Community Investment Fund. I think that's really been a really strong win for us in the community. And it's been a way really for us to share the resources that the visitor economy can provide, and directly through some grant programs. I know we've been very fortunate and appreciative of you applying for some grants, and have been happy to be able to provide some of those funds to you through the program. And to date, 66 projects have been invested in, and at a tune of about $3.5 million. So we feel that that's been a really strong give back to the community, while still, of course, being within the statute, since we have to be. So those projects do certainly touch our visiting community, but we've also made that added requirement that it also benefit our residents as well. We have more grants on the way, certainly four opportunities a year to apply, and we encourage you to continue to work with the Community Foundation for any applications and any projects that you might be envisioning for that particular program. Our workforce recruitment, just touch real briefly on this. This time of year in particular, it's important because everybody's starting to get staffed up for the season. So we do partner with the DC EDC on some workforce development items, and particular jobsindoorcounty.com, which is a complimentary website, not only for our local businesses and organizations to utilize, but also that's the primary call to action and part of our workforce recruitment campaigns. So when we're going to different locations and trying to promote, hey, come to Door County for the summer to work or for the season, or why don't you move here? That really is the primary call to action that we're utilizing. And it seems to work very well. Another couple things just to show our appreciation for our critical frontline hospitality staff is we do have a Server of the Week that we help sponsor in the Pulse, and also our Hospitality Hero campaign that happens at the back end of the year. And I would encourage each of you, as you're out and about the rest of this year, if you run into really good customer service and are really pleased with the service you got at a local establishment, when we put out that call for nominations in November, feel free to nominate that individual to help recognize the important work that they all do. So the last thing, just on the very bottom of this particular sheet, is a couple of the key promotional tools that we have in our arsenal: our destination guide, our annual winter guide, of course, doorcounty.com, and our welcome center right as you're coming into Sturgeon Bay. So we really appreciate all that you all do and the partnership that we have with you and each of our 19 municipalities, including our community business associations. I'm reminded every time I talk to other destinations around the state and or around the country about how fortunate we are to have the system in place between the tourism zone and our organization and our municipalities to do what we do. You don't know how good you have it until you talk to somebody that doesn't have it that good. And I just want to thank you all and thank Juliana and the tourism zone and all of our community business association partners and our board for making the atmosphere and the situation that we have here in Door County work so well, even if maybe we don't realize it because we're right in the middle of it. So I'm happy to take any questions of any of you at this point in time.
Is the J1 visa program still going strong, or?
Yeah, great question,
I think
and
it
the
was
short answer is
600 last
yes. There's been some concern the last year or two, but as of the last update that Phil, my colleague, got, who's really kind of in charge of that program for us, if everybody that's scheduled to be here this summer actually shows up, we'll be at around 560 students, which would be the biggest year that we've ever had. Last year, we were a little over 550. Now, until they're actually in the county, there's a lot that can happen between interviews at consulates and travel. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen. So until they're here, we don't know for sure, but things look positive at this point. We are working in conjunction with the State Department and the Social Security Administration again this year, and do have 2 Social Security sign-up days planned for Door County again, like we've done the last couple of years. That has been very successful, and businesses have been super appreciative of just because of the amount of travel and hassle that it saves them from having to take each one of those students to Green Bay, to the Social Security office, so.
And does the business that they're working for, are they obligated to provide room and board? Or is that something that they need to find
No,
on
they
their
do
own, or
need to-
you help them, or?
Yeah, they do. The sponsoring business does have to provide lodging. I don't know about the board side,
Okay.
but they do at least have to provide a place for them to stay. So,
Good.
Some of the ones I've met, we should be handing out visas, let them stay.
yeah.
I some hardworking individuals. I've been always pretty much impressed. I don't think there's been anybody that I realized
agree.
that it was in that program that wasn't a
Yeah.
pretty good, hardworking,
Yeah.
you know,
It's been a. very, very
represents
good
the
program.
county very well.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
yeah.
Anyone else, questions? Oh,
Now that you mentioned J1, when I was in housekeeping, I had the pleasure of working with some of those folks, and apparently, maybe the airplane rides and stuff was provided by maybe you guys, or maybe from the actual business that they were working for. I have no idea. I never question it, but I can honestly tell you, when you go to the time clock and you check in, and you see something that's for just them and not the rest of us that live here 365, 24/7, it's kind of a slap in the face. So I have a problem with all this tourism, and it's one-sided, one-sided, one-sided. I've kept my mouth shut because it's just, the thing to do, but I'm more concerned now with the tourism that's going on, especially with these weekly rentals, which I know for a fact, there's people that are bringing in these cute little things you see south of Sturgeon Bay, they look like a little house. There's people sleeping in those things, and I'm sure they're not sleeping for free. But anyways, my concern is the emergency part of all of it, and if it takes legislation to change it, I think it's time that legislation change. We're all into the tourists. I love them, respect them. But there's not enough money going into emergency, and it's not me, who lives here 365's responsibility, paying county and town taxes to provide that for this tourism. That's my take. Thank you.
all right.
The only comment I'll make is, in terms of the J1 students, there's a number of safeguards in place. They are sponsoring organizations above and beyond the host business. And so there's a number of precautions in addition to some local organizations, Door County Bridges, that's also in place to help make sure that those students, while they're here, are properly, have the resources that they need to deal with anything that might come up. So.
Okay. Anything else? All right, well, thank you both for coming, I appreciate it.
you.
This is presentation.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're not required to stay. Oh, excuse me, you're leaving already. No problem. It's all right. We hear you. We're moving on with our agenda. Approval of minutes, Board of Supervisors meeting, April 20th. You should have all had a chance to look at that. And if so, motion to approve.
I'll move to approve and place on file the minutes from our April 20th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting.
Motion by Linda, second. Second by Jeannie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, motion carried. All right, newsletter. Ooh. Ooh,
Ooh, how exciting.
the hot topic of the night. Okay. Linda?
All right, well, maybe we can get it out a little earlier than we did last year. And again, so we did 12 pages last go-round. I think maybe we shoot for 8 pages this time. But we did have a page of photographs, which I think is nice. It's always nice to see in color pictures what's going on in the town. Anyway, so I did come up with some ideas. Maybe something on our new blue address signs. I did take a picture of them being installed, and we might want to give an update on that. There might still be some addresses out there that don't have their new blue sign yet, so we can keep people posted on that. We didn't do a traveling back last time, and I'm thinking a traveling back historical type story on behalf of our Sebastopol Historical Society. And we're working on a logo for our historical society. The Community Business Organization, that could probably be a full page, and the committee and whoever's you have to help you on that. Welcome to the new supervisor, and if we have any new park employees.
We
I
have
don't know
one,
if we do.
two.
We have one? Okay, maybe a little background on them. Road work, we had talked about giving advance notice. Now, maybe the road work will be accomplished by the time our newsletter comes out, but maybe yes or no on that one. Clerk's Corner, that was a standard. Amy, you can, elections, the workshops you've been to, whatever you have in mind. Park and Rec, I'll leave that up to Mr. Hain, what he wants to do. Our ordinance committee, we're pretty organized now as far as the ordinances go, so maybe we'll put something in the newsletter where you can find those ordinances on our town website. And we did a neighborhood association article last go-round, and that was the Glidden Drive Association. And I think we have a volunteer already for this neighborhood association.
Yeah, Bayshore Property Owners Association, I got a call this morning, and they would like to be in the newsletter.
Okay, and I'll try to send you what Glidden Drive reported,
Yeah.
their article from last year, and they can kind of go from that. Chairman's chatter,
Okay.
maybe we had, our epic blizzard, and we had some epic flooding, maybe a few photos and some short stories on that, how we got assistance. Did we get assistance from emergency management?
We
I
have
don't know.
some, Stacy will probably help on it. EMRs that made some extraordinary efforts during the
Okay,
big storm.
Good. Yes, I think we should have an article then on the flooding and the snow. Sebastopol YouTube channel, maybe just a little reminder of where people can find that and what's out there. My pet peeve, we are a town, not a township.
Good luck.
I know, everybody says it.
I don't know.
Township comes in a legal description. A town is a municipality. Like I said, my pet peeve.
I quit correcting people. It was not a winning topic.
I know, it will never be. Maybe I'll have a tidbits column. Did you know that we are a town and not a township?
Well, you have 12 items already, so
Oh, only
you're gonna,
12?
yeah, so we might be a little over the 8 pages, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Would you like a broadband update too?
Sure.
And now we're at
Yes,
13
I have a
pages.
couple blanks, so I will add broadband update. Anybody else have anything? Stacy, anything you think our people want to know about, in addition to the 12 articles already?
I'll keep thinking.
Okay,
Definitely
and
keep
Amy,
thinking.
likewise, Jeannie? All right, so Dan, you can come up with something.
Probably enough.
So what do we want to do for a time frame?
Where did we, I know we got lost last year with something. Was it processing that?
Laddie, well, that's another question. Are we going to have Laddie format it? So he was experimenting with some new software last time, so that took a while. And then there was a new person, and we use Sunshine Resources for our printing and folding and tabbing and mailing, their bulk mail permit. There was a new person there, so there was a mix-up on the routes that we need. I think I have clarification on that. We shouldn't have a delay. So if we could have articles by the end of June,
Okay.
Yes.
okay? End of June, June 30th. So, okay?
I think you
Yeah,
have,
and if you have any interesting photos that you wouldn't, if you have like a huge drift in your neighborhood, or, we have plenty of flooding photos, I think, so. Anyway, so that's all.
was that
Okay?
all?
June 30th.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. That's a fun task. It's like herding cats, trust me. I understand.
Okay, are we going to ask Mr. Chapman to format for us, or
I don't-
should we tackle it on our own? I mean, there's lots of software out there.
Well, basically.
I would
you-
say use Laddie,
Okay,
assuming he's mastered the software, because
okay,
formatting software takes time to learn, and you push one page and all of a sudden everything,
okay.
so
All
I'd
right.
say
I'm
use it.
perfectly fine with that, so, and then as far as, we would compensate him for his work as well.
Yep,
So I will give Laddie a heads up, okay?
okay,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, the next item on the agenda is updating resolution on committee appointees. And really, the only real modification to this particular resolution that has been around for quite a while is that we specifically, in the second paragraph, indicate that we encourage resident participation within the municipality in government processes. In other words, people that are on our committees should live in our town. And I don't want that distinction to get lost. And so when that issue became a little cloudy, I thought it was good to restate it so that we eliminate that. So basically, that's all that's happening with this committee appointment resolution, is specifically outlining, you want to be on a committee, we'd like you to be on the committee, but we also like you to be in our town. So with that, and if there's any conversation, discussion, if not, then a motion to do this would be.
Just with regard to the Plan Commission, like I said, we do have 2 prospects out there that,
Well, I'm not
And then
doing the
you can
committee
you can
appointments
amend-
yet. This is just
This is
the,
just the
oh,
resolution.
she was talking about
Resolution.
the resolution.
yeah, this is just the resolution to
Okay.
approve the process, and then committee appointments is in new business.
Okay.
Okay, so somebody want to make a motion to approve resolution number
I'll make a,
202602?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution number 2026-02, Town
right.
Committee Appointments.
I second it.
Did I hear you? I'm sorry.
Yep, I make a motion to second it.
Oh, my goodness. I was kind of caught between just
I
2
know.
people. All
I
right, so
know.
we have a motion by Jeannie, second by Stacy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that takes care of that. The original one, by the way, was done in 2015, so keeping track of
We'll get it
things.
updated.
All right. Road work. So after the road tour, we selected a variety of roads to go take a look at. And then subsequently, I went to the county and asked for estimates on those roads. And you have that in the packet in front of you. And the roads that we selected to be pulverized, graded, compacted, and then new asphalt. So not just a paving on top, but a rebuild. So we have Rock Ridge Road from Highway 57 to the end, and that's estimated at $56,748. We have Matthew Road, County P to Rip Road. The initial estimate is $76,454, but I asked the county to provide us a second estimate for Matthew Road, which is to provide a second overlay of pavement because of the truck traffic from the quarry. And so they've done that, and that came in at $86,713. Essentially, while they're out there, all it is more asphalt. It's not involving a whole lot of additional labor. Bechtel Road from Whitefish Bay to East Dunn, that was bid was $143,697. West Jorns Road from Peterson to the end point, the terminus, of $38,692.
962.
Sorry, 962, that's my dyslexia in there. Weber Road, Rip to Dunn, $75,414. And the last one we asked for was Dennis Road, Reynolds to Elaine, $32,488. Now, all of that came up around $434, and that's obviously not doing both lifts of, that's excluding the first estimate from Matthew Road of $76,000. In that, we also had to adjust for Shower Road, which we earmarked $70,000 for. So first things first, I went to the county to get their assessment, since they're really doing the lion's share of the paperwork with the DNR as to where this is. And the feedback I got is that best case is that we will get the road under construction, cleared, but there'll be no paving this year. At least that's the assessment from the county administrator and Stantec, who they're working with to try and get all of the necessary paperwork done at the DNR. Nothing negative other than just government red tape.
So there
So-
would be no financial outlay until next year.
Yes, that
Oh.
that would be mine.
Well, that changes the,
That changes it. Now, I don't know if we want to commit those monies and give them to the county to hold. I don't have the answer to that. I talked about carrying the money over as a budget, and what do you think about, how would we handle that if we had to roll it over, assuming we'll still have the 450 next year as a goal?
Can't
So,
we just park it in our designated funds? I mean, we have other funds parked there. And that way we're earning interest
so
on it.
take
and-
70,000 of the 450 budgeted and stick it in the.
Just like we have for our comprehensive plan budget, you know, we
Okay.
have all those
Yep.
monies parked.
Okay, well, we can do that.
okay, so that's, excuse me, so that's a part of the conversation. Then we enter a second conversation on Matthew Road,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give that to Linda. I think this came up a little bit, and we kind of kicked it around, which is to put it underneath the agricultural LRIP. And there are some very specific things that you have to do for that. Didn't know if our timing would work. Linda did a lot of homework on that, so I'm gonna let her talk to that.
Well, wouldn't it be nice, instead of having all these programs for the DOT, town road improvement discretionary, town road improvement supplemental, local road improvement, TRID, TRIP, ARIP. Wouldn't it be nice if they just took all that money from all those different pockets and put it into general transportation aids? And
Yeah.
divvied it up per mile?
Exactly.
Instead of going through all of these hoops. Yes, I did a lot of research. I've talked to Thad Ash, I've talked to Skylar Witalison at Stantec, who would be the engineer. I have an email out to the DOT with a couple questions, but I haven't heard back from them yet. Basically, and I also talked to our WT director on Friday about this. So basically, the more mileage you add, the more likelihood of success. For instance, the town of Forestville was just awarded. Town of Nassawapi has made application for 5 miles on Idlewild Road, which is heavy egg use.
Golf course,
Yeah, and some egg use too.
heavy golf course.
And fortunately, the quarry would qualify as a producer. So you have egg producers and then you have product producers. So the quarry is a product producer, obviously producing gravel and hot mix. So if we went all the way from Matthew into the town of Sturgeon Bay and down and up into the town of Egg Harbor for like maybe, we would have 5 miles, I think, in our town, but we could add on if we partnered with those other towns, not townships. And you need an engineer to give an estimate. You cannot have the person providing the estimate do the work. You can't have that conflict of interest. So, like I said, I talked to Skylar at Stantec. He could do an estimate for us for around $2,000. To do the whole thing, if we were awarded, it will be in the range of $20,000 to $30,000, which of course the grant would cover. And we'd have to float a loan until, if we were approved, we'd have to float a loan. So if we partner, that's 3 entities there, you know, until we got the turnaround from the ARIP funds, which could be 3 or 4 months, not a real long turnaround. The road needs to be posted. So, and posting a Class B road is 48,000 pounds total, not per axle. So,
That's
but,
the quarry.
but the quarry would be exempt from that because their only access is from P or Highway 57, because we have it stated they cannot use Rip Road, correct?
They have
Do you
to
remember
travel-
that?
Yeah, they have to
They,
travel.
they
on-
cannot use RIP. So they would be exempt. And as far as enforcing ag equipment, which any piece of equipment out there is over 48,000 pounds, you know, do you
can't-
not enforce it, you just kind of let it slide, even though it's posted? Anyway,
Implements of husbandry fall
Yeah.
underneath that.
right, and, you know, we don't really enforce that. And you need letters of support from the egg producers and the quarry. And I've been told that sometimes they're hesitant to do that because you kind of have to put, oh, yes, I like this road, and these are the type of products, and these are how many employees that help me in my business. And this is about how much money I, you know, make on a year or whatever. It's very complicated. And I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. So, do we just hold off on Matthew? Some people think this program will come around in the fall
Others
with the
don't.
next budget cycle.
Others don't.
And another one said, no, they weren't sure. So I don't know what to do, Mr. Chairman. Hold it? Hold that strip of,
Well,
I don't know.
if we let it go downhill to gravel, then maybe Northeast will just do it on their own. That would be the ideal situation, not realistic. I'll speak for the one person that's not here tonight, which is Mark, which he seems to feel that Matthew Road needs the utmost attention and paving for student traffic. I can't say that I share that opinion, but he's mentioned that 2 years running, so he must feel fairly strong about it, and maybe that's because his son drives it, I don't know. It is a mess to do that, and without any idea as to whether or not we'd actually get the funding.
Right.
And then we roll the road over, and at the next step, I shouldn't say I have to, but we have to find roads to backfill. Now, obviously, I got a couple that we could use if we chose to do that, because we certainly don't want to sit there at the end of the year with $100,000 in roads that we could have repaired and didn't.
And we have to
So-
spend so much in order to qualify for our general transportation aids, right?
Correct,
We
it's a
have to
3-year
spend.
average, so we want to keep that as close to the 400, 450 as we can.
Right. So, I don't know, I guess my gut reaction would be with all the what-ifs, that we just pass on it and pave it and move on. We do have, if this comes back next year, we do have Haberly.
Yep.
We do have a couple other roads that we could certainly apply that need it. So maybe our take is that we'll pass on not knowing whether we'll get it or not this year, and at the same time, plan on, if it is, plan on it next year to do a couple of those other roads that are out there.
Yeah, like you said, Heberly, Forest, that's all ag out there, so.
Correct. There's no residents, it's all ag. So, I mean, those would be, that would be my,
And you can combine roads.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as they're connecting. And to be perfectly honest, I just don't think I have the time to do it. And like I said, you'd have to get that posting sign out there by May 29th.
Yeah.
I guess, Stacy, what are your thoughts? We'll
Yeah,
go-
I agree, I think we should just hold on it. I think there's a lot to it.
Yep.
Let's just hold.
And things
Okay.
could change.
Right.
With the next go-around, there might be different requirements. Maybe that posting thing will go away. Who knows, so.
Okay, and Linda, you're in favor of it, I know that. Okay.
No,
Just kidding. Jeannie? How do
No,
you feel?
yeah, I agree, just,
Okay,
To do our due
Get our work-
diligence
get our
and a
work
good job on the application, because we would want it to be successful after putting all that work in it, we take our time.
yep,
okay,
agreed.
I'm fine with that. we at least had a chance to talk through it and see what's up. So the roads, assuming we do Rock Ridge, the double overlay on Matthew, Bechtel, West Jorns, Weber, and Dennis, comes out to roughly 434.
434,022, yep.
Yeah. Now, we can spend, historically, the county's been a little on the rich side on their estimates.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any trouble in saying, okay, let's just go for it. My guess is that there'll be, it's purely a guess, but they bought oil last year, so we're not gonna get nailed
good.
for that, which is good news
Yep.
for the pavement. If he comes in, like I kind of expect he would, somewhere around 400,000, we have 450 in the budget. We might have to play games with 20 grand to put it aside for Shower Road, so we would in effect do our thing. That's kind of my thought, but you can give me yours.
We should keep an eye on the snow plowing, because we
Yeah, that's
That is
exhausted
true.
our full budget there.
It has, but we have applied to get about roughly 20,000 back.
Oh, for emergency
Through
fund?
the
Yeah.
emergency,
Yeah.
state emergency fund. So I just completed that about 2 weeks ago, and I confirmed our EIN and UEI numbers today.
Okay.
Okay. So,
looking for a motion, or?
yeah, I mean, is everybody on board with what we think we're gonna do then?
So name the roads again, that you're,
We're gonna do Rock Ridge,
right?
Matthew with a double,
The
Thick.
86,000?
the 86,000.
Yep.
Bechtel,
Yep.
West Jorns, Weber, and Dennis.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, did the highway commissioner say anything about the end of West Jorns? Does that price include all of the gravel? Or have you heard
I've-
anything from the property owners as to whether they want that
I
paved?
did, and I didn't, and I forgot.
Okay.
So I have it's a definite maybe. I was gonna call Randy, and I did forget to do that, so I'll put that on my list. It's not gonna significantly
No,
change.
it wouldn't, but it would be nice to have the,
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely
Turnaround or
forgot to call
whatever it
him.
is.
So basically, we're saying we can do all these?
Yep.
Plus shower, and so if we would be over, somehow we end up over budget with showering, because we are, right now, we would be over budget.
Right, well,
Can we just
we could
take
shift some money.
50 or whatever and just put 50 towards shower and then
Put it
do
in
20
Yeah.
next year?
next
Okay.
budget, yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can,
that works.
we can get it done.
Yep, all right.
All right. So then a motion to approve this road project, and I'll get back to the county.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we proceed with the road work, using the Door County Highway Department for the work, Rock Ridge, from Highway 57 to the end. Do you want the prices? 56,748 estimate.
Sure.
Matthew Road, County P, south to Rip Road, 2 lifts, 3-inch of hot mix, 86,713. Bechtel Road, Whitefish Bay to East Dunn, 143,697. West Jorns, Peterson to the terminus, 38,962. Weber Road, Whip to East Dunn, 75,414. And Dennis Drive, Reynolds to Elaine only, $32,488 for a total of $434,022 and
0 cents.
0 cents.
Okay, we have a motion by Linda, second by
I second that.
Stacy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Okay. I've got so many sheets of paper here, I lost my agenda. Okay. Town committee assignments. So there's a couple, couple different versions of this floating around, but I think we're close to on the same page. Under changes, we have under the Plan Commission, an addition of Stacy Daniel to the Plan Commission, replacing Trent. A couple of candidates who have not firmed up, but hopefully will, to fill the Plan Commission by next month. Park and Rec Committee, we have Trent dropped off, and in this case, Stacy declined, but she enlisted her husband, who used to be on the Park Committee and on the board, so he is
Great.
going to be coming back onto the Park Committee. And we're still looking for someone, so if there's someone out there that has interest, especially in ball fields or cutting grass, let us know. Tourism Zone stays the same. And she was talking about re-upping, so it would just be an automatic when that paperwork comes in.
Right, all the municipalities will be appointing
the
or
same thing.
reappointing their commissioners.
Okay, no change. Fire marshal's newsletter's the same. Oh, we have an EMR committee. In this case, Stacy replaces Trent. And we have continues Ashley, and I just expanded this year to include Grant Estes as the assistant crew chief. Destination Sturgeon Bay. Stacy is the lead on that, with Jeannie as her junior assistant.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
And on that too, we were thinking that if Stacy and Jeannie and myself could go to the next meeting, we could do introductions and.
Oh, that's fine. Certainly fine.
Do you know when the next meeting is, Linda?
There's no May meeting. I'm pretty certain there's no May meeting, so I get an email. Actually, I think I'm forwarding it to you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
right, there's no May meeting.
correct.
Okay. Town park employees, we have Mark's son Jack, and, I'm sorry, I always read town, I always read that wrong, and I'm going, now you're cutting grass, Stacy? Did I miss this?
Well, I can, if you want me to. I'm pretty good at it.
Sometimes I look at this stuff
I'm
and
a
I start
master
to
of all
think.
trades. Just ask
You
my
are,
husband.
okay, I put you into the town employee category as well, thank you. Wow, okay. And then we have added the ad hoc business committee, which Stacy chairs with Jeannie. And Jean Elsty, from Glen Drive Association, has volunteered to be part of that committee.
Great.
So I think everything's good, except for border review, we don't have an alternate.
Oh, I've reached out to people on that. Maybe I can think of a couple more people.
If you do,
Once a year.
see what's up.
Okay.
Okay, so, with that, we would like a motion to approve those committee appointments, and we'll probably bring it back next month for hopefully a couple new ones.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 committees and members list.
Okay, motion by Stacy,
Second.
Second by Jeannie to approve the committee members. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, approved, good, thank you. Okay, now this next one, I copied out a section out of it, in order, as Stacy has been, I forgot, what was the title you had, Stacy?
That's a good one.
It was a
Building-
very
building
good.
and
Very
maintenance
lofty.
Coordinator. Was it
Administrator.
coordinator?
Oh,
Coordinator?
Administrator. I don't know.
Administrator, coordinator.
I don't know, it was,
It's good.
it was
It was
very good.
quite
It's very-
impressive.
It was very impressive.
Had I met your staff, I would have understood.
Hey, you met them all.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so as a town, and she wants to continue doing the maintenance aspect for us, we have to, at town board, vote to properly notice that we are going to hire her to do that as a town employee. That's all it is, nothing more. So we're going to take a vote to make Stacy our maintenance, our building maintenance executive. All right? Effective immediately. Any discussion? Okay, all we need then is, let's just vote on it. Stacy
You need a
can't.
motion?
A motion, yes.
Okay.
Did you just make a motion, Mr. Chairman?
No, I did not.
Oh.
And Stacy can't, and
Fine.
Mark's not here.
I'll make a motion that we formally hire Stacy Daniil as the Town of Sebastopol Town Hall's Building Maintenance Executive.
There you go. Motion by Linda, second by
Second.
Jeannie. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I didn't hear you say opposed. Okay, Stacy.
Stacy's ex-
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right, redistribution of excess funds to another institution. I put Amy on this, I have to say. We have a significant pool of cash with the state, which there's no real reason to think that that pool or that government will somehow or another destroy what we have with them. But the world is a little crazy lately, and it's been kind of bugging me that we had so much parked out there without any backstop. And so I kind of sent Amy off on a couple different areas. One was to use T-bills, which the town can do. It's pretty easy, it doesn't cost us anything, it's just a little more complex to manage through. But of course, it is fully guaranteed by the government. And the other one is, she went to the bank, and as you can see from the note in here, the banks have decided to step up and to be competitive. So my take is that I think we should take some portion of our funds out of the state and put it with the bank, where we know we have government FDIC insurance, should, who knows what, but, you know, might not be a bad idea. That's my thought.
But FDI
ahead.
insurance only goes up to 250 or 450?
They increased it. didn't
250, but you create different accounts.
Different
Yeah, and
accounts.
I'm not, can it, depends on how the accounts are designated, correct? Did they
I
tell-
believe you're right. It does depend on how they're designated. I don't have that number right in front of me, and I didn't consider the FDIC. We could make sure that we structured them correctly, so we can get that FDIC coverage on them. I'm sure that that wouldn't be a big issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking, it covers up to 250,000 per depositor, per bank, in each account ownership category. So I think you'd have to check that out, but
I think there is a workaround for that.
there used to be, it used
You
to
could-
be, oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I just recall going through this a while back, that you could create additional accounts essentially to get the coverage. I mean,
Right,
it's,
and there was another workaround too. Amy, do you remember where it was? It was like, not a certificate of a deposit, but I know the town of Bailey's Harbor does it, or was doing it. It's through the bank, outside of FDIC, but still insured. I
But do you
don't
think
know.
it's in their wealth management?
Could be with Jason or
Yeah.
whoever there. I don't know. Is this
I could
something we
inquire
have to do
tomorrow.
tonight?
no,
on what
we
they're
don't have to
doing.
do it tonight. I bring it to you because I think it makes some sense from, it's only my perspective. You know, it's what I call mattress money. You know, you park it somewhere and you know it's there. And I wanted to make sure, you know, we had a chance to talk about it. And Amy can do the additional legwork on it. And then if it makes sense next month, we can decide what we want to do. I don't think the world's gonna fall out of place in could. Any rate,
In a month.
Well, and I like, working local.
you what?
I said I like working with someone local,
Oh, okay.
as in Nicolay.
All right, so we'll bring it back next month, Amy, if you'll do a little more homework for us, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, next item here is the Ad hoc Business Committee update. I kind of just wanted to get a sense from Stacy as to where she thinks she wants to go and who and where, and so I'll give you a few minutes to have at it.
Yeah, so I made a PowerPoint of some highlights of what we are going to discuss at our June committee meeting. But we're growing a business association with the town to manage and allocate non-taxable tourist funds that are currently being used but not to their full potential. The goal is to support the local businesses, increase visitor engagement, and strengthen the local economy while preserving the community character. So you can go to the next, you can go past the next one to Amy. Our vision is to create a thriving, connective business communication that enhances Sebastopol identity as a welcoming and distinctive destination within Door County. So this is something that, again, the committee is going to review, and we want to make a foundation with Sebastopol that's something that we can work on. And the next one, our mission, we can do all three of them, we can do one of them, we can do two of them, but we support and promote Sebastopol's local businesses by honoring our rural roots, strengthening the community connection, and sharing our authentic character of the town and those who seek a more meaningful Door County experience. Again, we could go through the next two, but core values: local first, collaboration over competition, transparency, sustainability, authenticity. And the next one, taglines, if that's something they want to do, once you get the business association going, you can do just around the busy, where Door County slows down, hidden gems, real experiences, stay longer, explore more. So something that they can go off of if they want to. I have some emblems. One I used on the letter example that you'll see, but one that I found that was more associated with all the different types of businesses that Sebastopol has to offer. That you will need a board of directors, you're going to need bylaws. So I kind of set that up, but again, this is all very much early stages, and it can be formatted however they want it. But board of directors, 8 to 12 members, 2 towns representatives, 3 to 5 local business owners, 1 tourist hospitality representative, and 1 to 2 community members. It can be about 2-year terms. You should have a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, chair is the one that runs the meetings, sets the agenda, treasurer manages the funds, secretary keeps the minutes. Responsibility of the boards, so go over the duties. Committees within the boards, they can decide what they want to do within with what committees that they're in, marketing, events, business, grants, if they have some different ideas, tourism-related infrastructure, things like that. The only restriction, the funding, no direct political use, and no funding individual gain without political benefit. You can keep going, Amy. Keep going. And then go one more. This is just a sample letter that I had. I gave one to each one of the board members. Again, we're going to have the committee meet in June. We're going to kind of finalize everything that I've started. And then if there's any comments on it, I'd love to have everybody's, any information that you want to give. And then we can go from there. But we're going, in the meantime, I have obtained the EIN that we need to proceed, and then I'm going to start to apply for the 506, or the 501c6. I reviewed it, we did need bylaws, so I started the bylaws. And we also, I think there's a fee associated with it too, so when I fill it out, I'm gonna have to meet with Amy for the fee, so.
Whatever the fee is, we'll pay it.
I don't necessarily agree with that,
And I don't either.
With what?
that we as a town should pay that fee.
I don't disagree with you, I don't agree with you. Here,
I think that these businesses have to have skin in the game. And they need to step up, and this has to come through them. We are just an ad hoc.
Yep.
And we've had our challenges trying to promote this for a number of years now. And so we need these businesses to say, yeah, we're in. And this is my opinion. And we shouldn't have a situation where, you know, Stacy's done a tremendous amount of work, and I applaud
Right.
her for what she's done to this point. So she's already done so much background for this whole thing that just getting businesses to say, yeah, I'm in, shouldn't be, you know, if they truly want to take advantage of this chunk of money that there's, you know, generated through tourism zone rent. So it's like, they just need to step up. And I'll be quiet now.
And,
Keep in mind that you guys are the salespeople, so hey, have at it.
yeah, well,
I mean-
it needs to be, if you're gonna be a standalone 501c6, it's Sevastopol Business Association or Sevastopol Community Business Association. It's not the town. I don't think the taxpayers should be supporting business efforts that it's gonna be a financial, you know, gain for them. So I agree with Jeannie, yep, the business owners need to have, you know, some skin in the game. Hey, make a contribution of $10, $20, it's $650 to file that.
Yeah, shouldn't be a lot
form.
of dollars.
And I was thinking too, can you have partner members? So for instance, the Sevastopol Historical Society, we don't generate any income, I mean, it's all donations. Or the Glidden Drive Association, or the Whitefish Bay Association, could they be partner members? And I think we would be willing, Sevastopol Historical Society, I would think we would kick in something too, if need be. But it has to, I'm pretty certain it has to be separate from the town. And Destination Door County, who is gonna disperse those funds, they probably want delineation between the town and the businesses. So that's my 2 cents worth. But yes, Stacy, thank you. You've done a lot of research and, yeah, moving forward on it and everything.
The other thought
But I think it needs to be separate from the town.
The other thought I had is to shamelessly steal, which is something we always did a lot of. Contact Egg Harbor, Bailey's Harbor, and see what they have that you might beg, borrow, or steal from them, since they've already invented the wheel, and it makes your job easier, because, yeah, you certainly have tackled far more than I had expected you to. I was really looking to just hear, you guys are gonna get together, and here's
She's
your.
already done a
Because
lot.
you
Yeah.
really need what you need is a sales pitch that the 3 or 4 of you can develop that's consistent, so you can go out to the businesses and say, hey, let me just tell you how big this is. Because when you hit them with those numbers, I mean, you really gotta be, well, I won't go there. There's a lot of money on the table that the businesses in our community could take advantage of if they're willing to get behind it. So that would be great. So,
And they need to do some work. I mean, you know, the businesses need to, everybody needs to chip in if it's gonna move forward.
any other,
Anyway,
Yep.
so,
Good luck. Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be successful, just get those
Otherwise-
businesses online.
I have the idea for the first event, so just let me know.
That's right.
Fireworks?
Yeah,
Oh, no, more than that.
more than,
More than that. Okay.
right.
Financial reports. You have the account balances, budget versus actual, and the transaction list by date. And Amy, you have something you want to share with us?
I do. We received the bill for Snowstorm Elsa. It cost the town $42,000. And I did fill out the emergency services reimbursement through the state. We're hoping to get back about $20,000 of that $42,000. Currently, we are doing a fantastic job in our interest earned budget category. We're at 83% of our budgeted total through April. And liquor license and short-term rental licenses are currently being renewed, so those are coming in as well.
What's the due date for the STRs? End of June?
June 30th,
Okay.
and no one will be accepted after, on July 1st or after.
So you're starting to get good feedback?
Yep,
Great,
yep, they know what to do. They have it down pat now.
okay, cool. Any,
And then if you look at the coastal byway, and I've been in touch with Amy on this too, I think there's a journal entry that's probably missing.
Yep, I got some
Because
clarification on it
We
today.
got grant funds in and grant funds out, so we didn't go over our budget by 273%.
nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2,314%.
Well, you know, you could probably be the highest
We're
over
very
budget category
frugal.
ever.
We're very frugal.
All right. Therefore, a motion to approve the financial results and put them, or financial, excuse me, not results, financials, and put them on file.
I'll move to approve the financial reports as included in our packet for April 2026.
Motion
Second.
second by Linda and Jeannie, thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Great. You've all had a chance to sign the vouchers, bills, and claims for April through May? If you have, a motion would be,
I'll make a motion for approval of the vouchers, bills, and claims, April 21st, 2026 through May 18th, 2026.
a motion by Jeannie, second from?
Second.
Second by Stacy. All right, and no further discussion, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, I think that's it, motion approved. Oral committee commission reports. We do have a copy of the EMR agency that was held on March 4th,
Yep.
just for your FYI. Does anyone have oral reports that you want or need to do?
The only thing
Oh,
I,
but-
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Jean.
I just again want to emphasize the education session that AT&T will be doing here at the Town Hall on Wednesday, June 3rd at 5 PM, refreshments and food. And bring your questions and think about all the things you will learn to how to use high-speed internet in your home.
Okay, thanks, Jeannie. Linda, do you have anything? please?
Just the Door County Tourism Zone Commission, Executive Committee meets this Thursday. We're gonna look at the 2025 audit from our CPA. They're talking about some new lodging software for the zone, perhaps some fireworks for funding for, in celebration of the 250th America's anniversary. They've done a wage study, that's interesting, and perhaps updating of bylaws and committee composition and maybe term limits, and that's about it.
Okay, thanks, Linda. Next, we have our county board report from District Supervisor Hugh Zettel.
District 14, right?
District-
Correct, it is everywhere.
Unless it's 15, and you can never tell.
Yes. Inflation goes everywhere these days. First of all, I just want to welcome Supervisor Daniil to the board, and thank you for serving the town.
Yeah.
And welcome. This was the first, giving the highlights from last meeting, it was the first county board meeting of the new term. So, of course, you have all the resolutions thanking the previous supervisors that are no longer on the board, quite a number of them from compared to the previous term. Probably the biggest item of note that was discussed is that the county is going to engage with other counties in the state and nationwide as part of a class action suit regarding forever chemicals. Very similar to what the county did with the opioid crisis. Through that settlement, giving the county funds to be able to disperse in certain areas, we're looking at doing the same thing relative to the impact of forever chemicals that will probably be dealing with in the future. There are some hotspots in the county that have been tested as part of the emerging contaminants study that I think is now in its 4th year. Extreme Northern Door, there's a site there, site that's been being monitored, as well as a location in town of Sturgeon Bay. So it's just something that we think we're going to have to be mindful and watch it, and make sure that we can manage the impacts. Relative to other meeting activities, I just want to highlight our RPC meeting. RPC committee met 2 weeks ago. 2 particular topics that might be of interest. One is we put together a draft data center moratorium resolution that's going to go to the admin committee tomorrow and then to the county board. There's been a lot of concern relative to the quick development of data centers and what the potential impacts are to county infrastructures. A number of counties in the state have already gone through this path, and a lot of activity discussed at the Wisconsin County Association meeting that was held in February that I attended, where they're using this as basically as a way to put a pause in place so that counties can properly assess with the potential impacts. Obviously, whether it's electricity infrastructure and related costs, water is of a particular concern, since no municipality gets their water, from the lake or the bay. It's all through wells, and there's just not enough high capacity wells to basically provide the needs for these large hyperscaler data centers. The other one is more on a public health, public safety perspective, is that a lot of these centers have what's called BESS, or battery electric storage systems. So think of shipping containers full of lithium batteries that store electricity. So not just data centers, but they could also be used in conjunction with solar that's done on a large scale, or wind turbines that's store the energy that's not used. When you think about stories you hear of putting out a fire in a Tesla car, and the challenge that is for fire departments. Imagine several dozen or 100 shipping containers full of lithium-ion batteries, material that catch on fire, and in our community being able to manage that. So we're putting that moratorium in place so that we can see what other activity is we should be considering as far as doing any sort of ordinance from a public safety, public infrastructure, protecting our water resources. So it's something that the admin committee will discuss tomorrow, and will likely go to the county board for a vote at our next meeting, which is next week. The other item is shipping containers. We had a discussion with the RPC committee, the brand new committee, 2 weeks ago. There is going to be another discussion this week relative to some potential alternative language that was discussed with the land use department. In the draft language that everyone saw, it basically highlighted areas that they would basically exclude, and there were a lot of residential zoning districts that were not included, which was raised as a concern. They're looking at maybe doing alternative language that would list just the handful of zoning districts that would be eligible, if you will, that are primarily in the commercial, light industrial, and certain ag categories, and everything else be excluded. That will be up for further discussion this Thursday's meeting. From a process perspective, my guess is it'll follow the same sort of thing we did with a lot of the ordinance changes we did the last go around. We'll have some draft language, and we would basically send it out to the towns to let the towns provide feedback, so that if we make any changes from that, we can put those in an updated document before it goes out for a public hearing. So basically, you give the towns another bite at the apple, so to speak. So if you'd like to attend the session this Thursday at 3 o'clock, we'll have that. You'll be able to listen in on the discussion on that and what the proposed language might look like that we would send out again to the towns for draft form. So those are the two things going on with the RPC.
I looked
Just
for the
the-
agenda today, and last one I saw was your prior agenda.
Yeah, that's, it'll go out today. It should have, yeah.
So is your agenda for Thursday, from a timing perspective, is this early in the agenda,
21st.
late? Shipping containers
Don't
is,
know.
okay,
I don't know.
all right.
All I know is that the agenda is being worked on when I was having a conversation at
Okay.
8:30 this morning, so, but not finalized. With that, those are the topics I wanted to cover, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I would just like to give pass along my compliments to your Land Use Services Director, Karen Bailey. She attended our town unit meeting on Friday. She does a really nice job. Uses layman's language that we can understand, and she just does a really nice job. So, but I was sad to hear that Jeff Kuso has left.
Yes, he no longer, Jeff no longer has to commute from Green Bay every day, so,
Well, he left the first time.
yeah, and, of course, in his role, planning director roles are very, plum positions, to have one in Brown County is nice, it's right in his backyard. And, it's, so I'm very thankful, that we were able to get him back and have him here for, another couple of years. And, look forward, to both, to backfill that role. I know there's been, a challenge with folks, seeking and getting different positions, in land services department. So with younger folks available for hire, the time and position is a lot different these days than it used to be, in other, professions. So I know Karen's, dealing with that. She's got a great young staff and doing well. I would also, in this first meeting, everyone's published their 2025 report, so I encourage you to read the report, especially the great work that Jessica here did in broadband, which we know we feel in our town, for her impact, as well as what Land Use Services has done, especially their work over the last year in counting complaints and actively working violations that are now tallied on a per-town level, so that you can view that on a quarterly basis, which we couldn't do before. And so, just really putting good process and rigor and transparency in there. And you're right, considering she's also an attorney and associate corporate counsel, she speaks with plain English, so that's very helpful.
Yeah, she did touch on the nuisance and enforcement.
Yeah.
And then, so our liaison was Mike Hinkle. He's no longer with that department. So, and since the code administrators aren't assigned to a municipality, do we just use the general email for land use when we want to reach somebody?
Yes, and then what's going to happen is Karen is basically going to assign activities, based on the type of activity. So that way,
Okay.
you're not going to get a newbie if you have something that's very complex, like a conditional use permit or a complex rezoning. She'll assign it to someone that, has got the experience relative to the action that needs to take place. So she'll be much more flexible to assign the right person for the right task until, folks get ramped up, with the right knowledge base. So I think that gives her flexibility as well as ensures that the town gets the right resource to handle the right activity.
Thank you.
No,
I
you're
thought she
welcome.
would have
Great question.
communicated that process, but that didn't happen. We've all found out through osmosis, so kind of
Yeah,
One
point well
question though,
taken. Yep.
who is on the RPC, who the makeup of?
Jason Tlahach, who's a town of Forestville,
Forestville.
and I believe Ed has several years of plan commission experience. And the other new person is Nancy Goss, who's a longtime plan commission member with the town of Liberty Grove.
Huh.
And then the returning members are myself, Supervisor Fisher, and Supervisor Morgan.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, what are we down here? We're just recapping inspection specialists, their monthly report, and Amy provided a list of zoning permits issued in April. We have, 2 single-family residences. I missed that.
All right.
Looking
Yep.
at, we're moving up. All right. Correspondence, you have a nice note back from Wisconsin Humane Society thanking for the contribution, which we were able to double based on their deal. Oh, man, we missed this one. This is a proclamation for Professional Municipal Clerks Appreciation Week. Thank you, we appreciate it.
I'll get another when it's Municipal Treasurers Week, so
Yeah, but
it's
you gotta-
okay that you missed this one.
You have to give it to us ahead of time, because we get this after the fact.
Kudos to Amy.
But Tony caught it, and he thanked you personally.
Yes.
So thank you you always do a nice job for us, so thank you very much. Door Connect, a little bit about their rides, where they're connecting, it's surprising. Payment advice on, this payment in lieu of taxes from the DNR. And the City of Sturgeon Bay Fire Report. I didn't particularly like talking to her at the annual meeting where she was talking about buying a whole new pumper. Well, whatever, it's just, we do get our services from them. Then there's a note in here from a gal that's approached us on our sign, that's our digital sign in front of the building. And she is the Watch Fire Sales Development Rep. And she's looking for business. She gave you some information about the fact that eventually parts will no longer become available for ours if there should be a problem. And she encourages us to buy in advance to the tune of $38,000. And, well, we'll hold on to that until at least October and then debate. The last thing underneath correspondence is we purchased 6 new laptops.
Oh, we did?
Yay!
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So, are all of them here now, Amy?
I still have one coming, but 5 are here.
5 are here, and I know that Chad has a couple of them that he's working on already. And so he will do all of his magic on his end, and he will pick off by supervisor 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, we don't have supervisor 1, 2, 3, and 4, but he's gonna get yours. Everybody will get a new one, and within a week to 10 days, he may need to get your specific things done. So if you got a printer that you're having trouble with a print driver, something like that,
Okay.
he'll work through those with you.
Everything on this laptop will be transferred over, I hope, because I
That's
have lots of
what's
files.
That's what's supposed to
And what's
happen.
happening to the old ones?
That's the question of the day. When I was
I
listening,
was looking at
well, we have no process. One of the thoughts I had was, could donate them to the school, with the exception of Mark, who dropped his again and has a cracked screen. But we would have 5. That good one, we could sell
Yep.
them. I'm sure we can find somebody that would be interested in them, depending
it.
on.
They'll be wiped totally clean, right?
Right.
And so like no
Absolutely.
software either, like no Microsoft Word or Excel or anything like that?
You won't have the program, the apps on there, but you'll have the basic Windows 11. Then you'd have to do the rest. So,
Okay.
and we don't need to make a decision on it anyhow today. I just wanted to let you know that we ordered them, and some of them are here. And hopefully within the next couple of weeks, you'll get a call to work through whatever issues you have with an individual, bringing it up.
good, because my battery just dies really
too.
quick.
I
Well,
Like,
they're-
that's why I had to be
All the
plugged in
time.
tonight.
They're what, six,
All the time.
I bought them in 19? I think I bought them in 19, 6, 7 years, and we got good use out of them,
Well,
so.
Jim had this one before I came on the board, so. I don't
But,
know.
any rate, so with that, a couple announcements, the AT&T Learning Session. Jeannie, when is that? I can't remember.
It's Wednesday, June 3rd.
It
At
is?
5 PM.
Oh, wow, and is it here at the town hall
It
with
is here,
refreshments?
at the town hall, refreshments and food,
And it's
yes.
free?
It's free.
Okay, good, I wanted to make sure of that.
Just come for dinner.
The Board of Supervisors meeting is Monday, June 15th. The open book is Wednesday, June 24th from 10 to noon. And I think everything in there, with the exception of motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Why?
Because he's, she's
Cause
sitting
I know, I was
Yeah.
just gonna see if
all
it
done.
came from
I'll
that
second
same
that.
chair.
Yep.
same chair.
All
I'll
right.
second in Mark's absence.
All right, motion from Stacy, second from Jeannie. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye.
Good
Aye. We
night.
are adjourned.
Microphone.